No, we're talking about, okay, that's all in the whole group.
So often, I mean,
Oh, really?
because it's very. Three or 4 inches.
I love it.
It's good. It's good. Absolutely. I don't think we actually. Let's me just stag.
Probably one of those.
C'est le. Comme je t'en. Ok, va donc. Un minute. Correct. Puis toi, t'es encore en ligne dans l'autre? Ou faut que tu te retournes? Normand, tu nous entends-tu?
Affirmatif.
Merci. Et attends. OK, je viens de te le faire admettre.
Il va y avoir les.
OK, so moi, tu vois, tu vois bien en haut, là. Ah, OK. OK.
Oui.
Because that's a.
Ah, c'est toi qui étais. Toi et moi.
My alarm is off. We have a paper copy. What is everybody? My tardiness. Do we have O Canada this morning? This afternoon? Okay. We all stand for playing O Canada.
Our home and native land, true patriot love, in all vast command, quand embrasse porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée de glorieux exploits. Qui par là, glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard.
Remain standing.
La ville de Kapuskasing et son conseil reconnaissent que nous nous trouvons sur les terres traditionnelles de la Première Nation Moose Creek dans le traité 9 qui abrite également plusieurs nations. We will continue to work in collaboration towards reconciliation in a healthy and mutual manner while sharing responsibility and accountability for the health of this land, which we also call home. Please note that this meeting is being live streamed. The content being streamed may be subject to copyright protection.
Be seated. You have a motion to approve the agenda?
Moved by Councilor Newton, seconded by Councilor Leblanc, that the agenda be approved as circulated.
Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Is there any declaration of pecuniary interest in general items thereof?
Yes, we have one with number 11. This is number 2, right?
Number 11.
What's the declaration?
Sing the last time. Exactly how we worded the last time.
Okay, and Gary, you also have a pecuniary interest in this item? And I as well would have a. Okay, and
So my declaration is also for agenda item number 11A, request from Councilor Embleton to reconsider reimbursement of legal costs as per the new information provided. I'm in any but all of their interest directly impacts me.
all right, duly noted. I, David Clore, declare pecuniary interest for the following reasons: that it may have some effect in legal proceedings that are happening as well.
2025, item number 11A, agenda item title, Council Breton to reconsider reimbursement of legal costs. The date was Mr.
Okay,
Yeah, agenda dated February 3rd, 25, item number 11A, reconsideration. I, Martin Dennison, declare pecuniary interest for means of legal proceedings.
okay, so they know. All right, with all that behind us now, committee of the whole reports, finance, Councillor Dennison.
Okay. The annual billing webinar slide deck and summary of question and answer from presentations held virtually on January 15th and 17th, 2025, and in-person council presentations scheduled for March the 24th, 2025, with provisions for a question and answer period. So it's more or less for information. There's a lot of information there, but I guess we'll go more on the 25th. Eh?
Yeah, and I think the general gist of that presentation is salary increases, I think.
Salaries and benefits.
And benefits.
The end of the way that spins it through the calculation, whether it's the 2022 reconciliation or go forward predictions, it all goes back to salaries going up.
So a little more.
Any questions on that report or okay, hearing none, that is my report.
All right, planning and corporate services, Councillor Newton, is there anything you want to add?
Nothing for myself, Mr. Mayor. We have a meeting coming up next week.
Okay, perfect. Protective services and emergency management, Ken's not here. I assume that there's nothing to bring up under protective services. Public works, Councillor Breton.
And thank you, Mr. Mayor. So these are the minutes of the Public Works Committee meeting held January 27th. Anyone had questions on the minutes? No.
All right, thank you, Councillor Breton. Economic development, community well-being and recreation, Councillor Leblanc.
Thank you, Mayor Ford. We have the year-end report from the library here, and just a couple highlighted achievements for our library. They have 1,500 card holders, 29,000 books and borrowed items in circulation. 7,000 people went to borrow Wi-Fi. I believe that the people that work there and the people that visit our library are very satisfied and happy with the way things are going, and I think the library is a very important component to municipality. So we just wanted to highlight all their good work there at our library, and we have been working on a grant for adding technology. So there was any questions about their year-end.
Great, thanks, Councillor Leblanc. Councillor Fortin, did you have anything you want to add for help?
Not this time.
Well, that concludes the committee of the whole. That is a record, 413. We'll move to adoption of the minutes.
Moved by Councillor Dennison, seconded by Councillor Newton, that the minutes of the joint committees of the whole and council meeting held January 13th, 2025 be approved.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Unfinished business nil. Correspondence. We have Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing, Enabling Water System Fund Intake 2. We were unsuccessful in Intake 2 in receiving any funding. Is there anything anybody wanted to add on that? No other comments? Okay.
When these infrastructure projects come in, is there funds allocated per jurisdiction?
That's a really good question. I know at the first intake, a lot of the north was not successful, if any. So intake 2 was an opportunity to kind of take back. Do you have any information, John, on who or what the next process would be? Who was the successful recipients? And
so if you go to page 3, it tells you a list of successful municipalities that receive funding will join in the LD here in Northern Ontario are things as well. There is no, we haven't been communicated yet on if there's gonna be a third intake. Obviously, the town will still be interested in proceeding with a third application if the opportunity arises, but there has been no indication that there will be a third.
I think, Peter and Ford has indicated that there's gonna be more money, put into infrastructure. I think it was last week he made some announcements, so certainly I think there's probably chances there'd be a third intake and hopefully we're in line, when that comes out to make sure we apply. It should be all already in the system, just press send.
Yeah, we probably
Very similar, yeah.
may modify it somewhat, but it will be ready.
Okay. Any other questions there? Not Ministry of Rural Affairs, Office of the Minister on Lisa M. Thompson, acknowledgement for the Ontario Municipal Partnership Fund announcement held in Kapuskasing on January 15th. That's the presentation that we received 2 weeks ago with the Deputy Minister that was here. Ministry of Transportation and Delegation of Rural Ontario Municipalities, Roma, regarding ways to improve local issues and improve transportation. Again, I don't know if you want to speak to the delegation you had with the ministry in regards to the connecting link.
There's no hard messaging other than they have a message for us coming this summer. So
Okay,
they said stay tuned. We're finalizing our response to the issue. They acknowledge that Kapuskasing has a problem with as much connecting link as we have for a small community. Apparently, they're going to come back to us this summer with a solution.
and I have to thank Elaine for taking over the presentation delegation with the MTO on the connecting link. I had a delegation with the Ministry of Energy concerning the biomass facility at Cap Paper. So we drew straws and he got the MTO. Thanks for taking that. Ministry of Natural Resources, Ministry focusing on significant attention to the forest industry while ensuring the health of the forest resources of future generations. We had a really good delegation with the ministry M&R during our delegations at Roma too. So I'm looking forward to some good positive news coming out of that. Going into number 9, committee of the whole recommendations. We have a motion to pass a resolution in support of the establishment of the Ontario Rural Road Safety Program.
Moved by Councillor Breton, seconded by Councillor Newton. Whereas the official statistics from the Government of Ontario confirm that rural roads are inherently more dangerous than other roads. And whereas despite only having 17% of the population, 55% of the road fatalities occur on rural roads. And whereas rural, northern, and remote municipalities are fiscally strained by maintaining extensive road networks on a smaller tax base. And whereas preventing crashes reduces the burden on Ontario's already rural strained healthcare system. And whereas roadway collisions and associated lawsuits are significant factors in runaway municipal insurance premiums. Preventing crashes can have a significant impact on improving municipal risk profiles. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Kapuskasing requests that the Government of Ontario take action to implement a rural road safety program at Good Roads and has committed to lead. It will allow Ontario's rural municipalities to make the critical investments needed to reduce the higher number of people being killed and seriously injured on Ontario's rural roads. And further, that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Premier, Doug Ford, the Minister of Transportation, the Minister of Infrastructure, the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Rural Affairs, and Associate Minister of Emergency Preparedness and Response, Minister of Health and Good Roads, and further that this resolution be circulated to all municipalities in Ontario.
We have mover in a second.
Moved by Councillor Breton, seconded by Councillor Newton.
All in favor? Carried. Motion to pass resolution to call for the Government of Ontario to address the funding shortfall in child welfare and providing emergency stabilization funding for children's aid.
Moved by Councillor Fortin, seconded by Councillor Dennison, that whereas children's aid societies across Ontario are experiencing significant financial pressures with the majority of agencies running deficits in the millions. Whereas the Financial Accountability Office has indicated funding for child protection has fallen behind inflation, with the sector missing 70 million compared to previous funding levels. Whereas the current funding model implemented in 2013 has limitations that affect the safety and well-being of children, particularly in northern and remote communities. Whereas the Ministry of Children, Community and Social Services spending on child care protection services is projected to grow at only 0.07% annually from 2023-24 to 28-29, well below inflation. Whereas the child welfare redesign strategy requires enhanced community-based prevention services and improved quality of care, which cannot be achieved without adequate funding. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Kapuskasing supports FNUM's call on the government of Ontario to immediately address the funding shortfall in child welfare and providing emergency stabilization funding for children's aid societies.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Staff report. We have a request to award the janitorial service contract for a term of 2 years with any optional or an option 1-year extension. Go ahead.
There's questions. It looks like we're going to be awarding this to an outside the municipality. Like, I'm kind of wondering what did the people that actually are doing it today, weren't interested anymore in, or their bids were too high, or why? Because I think this is the first time we've ever went outside like this to a janitorial contract.
Our previous contract, the one that ended this year, was also
With these,
reliable. Yeah, reliable.
also it's the same firm that will be.
Yeah.
And was any thought given to awarding it to somebody local?
We went as per policy and awarded it to the lowest bidder.
Now, I take it that a lot of the same people that are performing the service are still working, are going to be working for the.
Yeah, so there's Bill 7 under the Employment and Standards Act. So if your worker is, if the contractor changes, the worker that's actually doing the work has to have often a job offer from the new contractor.
At the same rate?
No, doesn't, no. Not at this.
And they have been doing it, like there's not gonna be very much change then.
In the work.
Well, in the people affected, for the people affected.
No, so so there's a job offer by the new contractor. If the employee chooses not to, then a severance pay is mandatory.
And who has to pay the severance pay?
The new contractor.
So, and the last time that we awarded them the contract, what happened?
They employed some of the existing workers from the previous contract.
And they at the same rates that they were getting before?
I can't, I mean, we don't pay the rate to the employee, the contractor employs them and pays the rate. So I don't know what they would pay.
I'm disappointed that somebody locally can do this, at least this contract. These are very, well, not very expensive contracts. There was some way to provide them to people locally.
The workers are local, though. They're local employees.
Yeah, but if they're at a reduced rate, I don't think that's quite fair. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor?
Oh, did I have a recorded vote?
It's not a motion.
No,
There's no vote.
There's a.
it's awarded, yeah. All right, moving on to number 11, motions and notice of motions. We have a request from Councillor Breton to consider the reimbursement of legal costs. Now, I understand this requires a motion and a second, so I'll move in a seconder. And my understanding is the mover and the seconder has to be of the original.
Yeah, so in order to make a motion to reconsider, the members who who were not in the majority cannot move for a motion to reconsider. And also 2/3 majority must agree to add the motion to reconsider on the agenda.
So we'll start off with we have a mover.
We don't.
Oh,
Your declaration.
we're in conflict, yeah.
So and it has to be from the previous motion. So there was only councillors Newton, LeBlanc, and Manaf that were debated the
Can't have a second there. Because it's only two votes.
Well, you can have a,
vote, if she voted against it, she's not gonna.
well, you don't know that, right? So you have to ask the question, is there a mover?
I'll make a motion to reconsider Councillor Breton's reimbursement of legal costs.
We have a seconder? Okay. There's no seconder, then the request that we consider the reimbursement is denied or straight off the agenda? Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
Mayor, can I say something?
Sure.
So the information that was provided in this new information came after I received some training, which stipulates under the municipal act that if you receive guidance from an integrity commissioner firm to go seek legal advice, that under the municipal act, your legal fees should be paid by the municipality or its insurance. So these are facts under the municipal act that I was not aware of prior to this situation. So it is legislated under the municipal act that this should be paid by the municipality or its insurance as per the information provided in the email and that I received from Municipal Affairs.
Well, thank you for that information, but the motion to reconsider has been denied, so we'll move on. General items, new business? No? We have bylaws, motion to approve the bylaw number 4617 being the borrowing bylaw for the year 2025.
Moved by Councillor Dennison, seconded by Councillor Fortin, that bylaw 4617 being a bylaw to authorize borrowing of up to 16,539,471 from January to September 30th, 2025, and up to 8,269,736 from October to December 31st, 2025 for the year 2025. Be enacted and passed, that the corporate seal be affixed thereto, and that the bylaw be signed by the mayor and the clerk.
Is there any questions? Discussion?
Just in terms of finance.
Yeah, I was more wondering if there was any questions from you, you understand?
No, I do.
Okay. All in favor? Carry. Motion approved, bylaw number 4618 to enter into a janitorial service agreement.
I would need a mover and a seconder for the bylaw.
Moved by Bruce. Is there a seconder? Carrie? We asked for a recorded vote.
I'll read out the bylaw.
Yes.
Okay. That bylaw 4618 being a bylaw to authorize entering into a service agreement between Reliable Window Cleaners Limited and the town of Kapuskasing for the provision of janitorial services of municipal buildings. Be enacted and passed, that the corporate seal be affixed thereto, and that the bylaw be signed by the mayor and the clerk.
All in favor? We did, we asked for a recorded vote. Against? 2 against, 4 for. Emotional pass?
Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood there. So want to have a recorded vote.
Yes.
Yeah. So for against, it's who, sorry?
It's Councillor Dennison and Councillor Leton.
And it's for the motion.
For the motion, Councillor Newton.
I may ask, what's the objection?
I
Just following up to your questions earlier, what would you do differently with the janitorial contract? I understand your desire to keep it locally, but what would you do differently to obtain that objective, I guess, in the future? Or
In the future, I would see if we couldn't give some preference to more local firms that could do it in. We're coming to a point in time that I think we're gonna be with what's going on at the mill and all our economic woes that we're going through, I think we have to start to look after our own and not send money to separate.
Would you want to review the purchasing?
To allow.
If that's what it takes, that's what I would
I
like.
can provide you a copy, and if you want to make suggestions, it's a common issue that we have, and
Yes.
we haven't found ways to resolve it. So any
But
new
there are
ideas?
other things that we don't even go out to tender that could also possibly go out to tender, so.
It's all slated in
I
that
think
procurement
a
policy.
review would probably
I'd like a copy as well.
be good.
Okay. We'll send out a copy of the procurement policy, and we welcome any changes. It's been, I'll say, beaten around for many years.
Well,
with the
it's
attempt.
an ongoing
Yeah.
thing for a long time, but I'm not sure if we've got it right yet.
Nope, we may not have it right, just looking for ways to improve on what we've done, if we've done it not to your satisfaction.
Because I think we've made decisions in the past that have come back to bite us.
Yeah, well, and there was when we had a 10%,
Yes,
so it's important that we get it right, and I'm not sure that.
I'm not sure if 10% is the right thing.
There is a right one, we should
How we
make it.
do it maybe.
Yeah.
Will we review it?
Not only in the past, not only just, speaking the general increase, I'm not sure in the last.
No, that's the extension, when you have an option to extend.
No, but when it was done more separately, like we had a separate contract for the civic center, a separate contract for the welcome center, a separate contract, it wasn't all amounted.
We went the lowest bid per building,
And this firm provided the lowest bid for all of it.
per building.
So do you have everything you need, Chantal? You know who voted for and
Yeah.
against? All right. Okay, good, so we're gonna move into closed session.
Moved by Councillor Vanessa, seconded by Councillor Dennison, that council moves to a closed session pursuant to section 239(2)D of the municipal act to consider two labor relations matters regarding compensation and bargaining of a collective agreement.
All in favor?
Vote by some members of this administration and some members of council. Being a woman in politics is not an easy thing, and this just further shows the lack of support we have and how hard it is to strive in this and excel in this industry. So I just wanted to share this with council and staff.
Yeah, okay.
I have a quick question.
Worth responding to it.
We're in public now.
All right, we'll talk later. So quick question about this.
Oh, should we be concerned with?
So,
We'll adjourn.
yeah, we're gonna, report from close. Motion adjourned from close, sorry.
Moved by Councillor Fortin, seconded by Councillor Newton, that the closed session be adjourned at 5:40 PM.
All in favor? Carried, report. Vote.
Your direction from council coming out of close would be to maintain the bargaining strategy. Are you maintaining?
What's a change in the bargaining strategy a little bit, but
So,
I don't know that it needs to say that. Could it not be that the council provided a direction, to revise direction? The bargaining strategy?
bargaining strategy. So moved by Councillor LeBlanc, seconded by Councillor Jennison.
All in favor? Carried, motion to approve the confirmatory bylaw.
Moved by Councillor Newton, seconded by Councillor LeBlanc, that bylaw 4619 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council be enacted and passed, that the corporate seal be affixed thereto, and that the bylaw be signed by the mayor and the clerk.
All in favor? Carried, motion adjourned.
Moved by Councillor LeBlanc, seconded by Councillor Newton, that this council meeting be adjourned at 5:41 PM.
All in favor? Carried. We're